It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for tuning in. Excuse me, I was stuffing my face with hertogies before we went into the break. It's been an awesome Monday morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm glowing in part because of the incredible sporting action we were treated to over the weekend. Formula One continued this weekend with the Italian Grand Prix, and that took place obviously at the legendary Monza circuit, which is one of the oldest, in fact, has the oldest, longest running relationship with Formula One. Incident-filled, controversial race won by Ferrari's Charles Leclerc to make it 2 from 2, and obviously in front of an Italian crowd that would have made it even more momentous. Motoring journalist and friend Charlen Raymond is here. Buddy,
Graham, good morning.
You called it, dude.
Well, I think it was pretty obvious that Charles Leclerc would be the driver to beat this weekend, and it was the case. He literally drove a magnificent race to seal victory for the Scuderia.
Oh, man, for Ferrari's fans, I mean, you could see what it meant for all Italians were celebrating.
Yes, yes.
Even the other Italian-based teams got in on the act there. They just took it as a group win for the country, more than for Ferrari, but an important win for Ferrari to keep the momentum going from last weekend. For Leclerc, who did, after the race, say that this was his toughest drive, probably his toughest moment, because he was pushed.
Yes, yes.
How did he win it? What was the thing? Was it pure fortitude, mental strength? How was he able to win it in a very fast car?
Simply put, the Ferrari is unstoppable and nearly unbeatable in a straight line. That's why. And Ferrari made the strategic call to put him on the hard tyre, the slower tyre. But even though Hamilton was on, yes, it went the distance. But even though Hamilton was on the medium tyre, which was faster than the hard tyre, Leclerc was still 11 kilometers per hour faster in the straights, and that
pure horsepower.
Yes, and that kept Hamilton at bay, and that ensured that Leclerc got the win on Sunday.
And of course, Hamilton saying that, you know, I went over the edge, my tyres went over the cliff. He was quite dramatic about that and apologised to his team. Was that the reason why Bottas got the edge over him? Was there any driver faults involved? Was it purely the tyres for Hamilton?
I think towards the latter stages, the tyres did come into play, and it did go off a bit. But also Hamilton was the better driver between the two. The only reason why Bottas had the advantage and why Bottas took second place was because he pitted much later than Hamilton. So his tyres were a lot fresher. So when Hamilton charged going into turn 1, and he charged and he went for the overtake on Leclerc, and he missed his braking point, and he had to take the escape route. The crowd went crazy, and what it meant was that Bottas could overtake him for second place, and because Hamilton's tyres were off, he had to go and make a second pit stop.
A pit stop, and that was just, ultimately maybe the team playing a bit of a part there as well. Now, you talk about someone doing this.
Yes.
But with no one else around them, for no conceivable reason. I was joking about Sebastian Vettel possibly being cursed. He must be feeling like he's a little bit cursed. Massive driver penalties coming into play now for a champion driver who just is not connecting with his car, connecting with the track. What is going on with Sebastian Vettel, and what penalties has he faced? Because this could become quite a serious thing for him now.
Graham, that's the saddest part for Ferrari at the moment. Oof. How can there we see it now, and just look at that, and he went into Lance Stroll in the racing point. That clearly is let's just say
life-threatening.
That's life-threatening. That's stupid. And that again happened when Lance Stroll, he rejoined the track, and he pushed Pierre Gasly wide again. So Vettel got a 10-second stop-go penalty for driving into Lance Stroll, and Lance Stroll, for pushing Pierre Gasly off the track, he got a drive-through penalty through the pit lane. So the FIA and the stewards, they said, listen, we will not tolerate I don't want to say bad sportsmanship, but if you're going to be driving badly, you will be reprimanded and face a penalty. And the same happened with Charles Leclerc. When Hamilton had one of these best chances of overtaking Charles Leclerc, Leclerc pushed Hamilton wide, and Leclerc was shown the black and white flag saying, listen, buddy, you are driving dangerously, do that again, and you will face a penalty.
You will face a penalty. Because you want a bit of competition. These guys aren't driving alone, so you need that. I heard something about 9 out of 12 points that that's almost like a race ban might even be an
Yes,
offering
yeah.
for Vettel.
Yes, because if Vettel reaches 12 points, 12 penalty points, then he will be
Banned for a race. Which,
race.
of course, will make absolutely no difference to his campaign because he is nowhere. I say that with all due respect. An incredible race. Great to see the McLarens in the mix there again as well. Thank you so much, man. This, I mean, so far it hasn't disappointed, but I think there is something very special for Formula One to have this kind of results in Italy. Massive, massive, massive results. And we'll continue to watch as Formula One surprises us as being a really interesting and exciting sport.